Too much fun, too much fun, too much fun. Would you believe that it's not a new beat? It's not a new beat. It's not a new beat, Seesaw Studios. It's not a new beat. We've used this beat every Black History Month that since How It All Works has been in existence. We've always used this beat every February. It's our BHM beat. We'll turn it up a little bit. Oh boy. It's a good vibe. That's a good vibe. Good vibes, good vibes. All right. Let me see what we got. We got 11 of you guys hanging out with us tonight. I love it. 11 of you, and my camera doesn't want to give me joy. It's all good. It's all good. I just wanted to show that to you. You see the mess of my desk. What's going on, family? What is going on? Live Production Tips and Tools is in the chat. He's also in the studio. We're excited to have him. We're excited to have him. And we're excited to have all of you. Man, listen, take a second right now. Share. We're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to have a good time hanging out. Yeah, it's Black History Month, y'all. So welcome. Happy BHM 2023 edition. Loving it. Man, I've got a bunch of things I want to share with you guys in terms of the news as well. So we're gonna grab a couple of those, but let me see if there's any new comments. I see my guest is lighting up the chat, man. Said, let's go. Welcome everybody. Welcome. He's welcoming you guys. I'm welcoming you guys. If you're watching on LinkedIn, if you're watching on Facebook, we see the comments on YouTube, but if you're watching on one of those other platforms, go ahead and let us know in the chat. We want to acknowledge you. We like that you are here with us. We're excited that you're here with us and hope that this topic is going to be one that resonates with everybody. Listen, while you do that, I want to get into the news. Okay, let's go.
Your number one source for live video news.
Here we go. Thank you so much, Gary Link. Gary Link says, I love the look. I love it. Gary Link is in the house tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Gary Jones is in the house tonight. Always love it. Rick Tech Tips says, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, Rick Tech Tips. Always appreciate when we got folks coming in. Love these topics. Oh, I love that. Listen, on the screen right now, you're seeing the latest on YouTube from the channel. 5 StreamYard features you should be using. Wanted to make sure you guys get a chance to see that. And listen, if you haven't already, head up howitallworks.com. HowitAllWERKS, How It All Works with an E.com. Hit that up and you'll see all of our latest. In fact, you'll even see this video that we're live on right now at the top of the page. So excited for that. Excited for all those we got hanging out with us tonight. Rick Tech Tips, thank you so much for being here. I like the avatar. The avatar is pretty cool. We're gonna dive in, man. I wanted to share this real quick as well. Thank you, Gary, for putting that link out there. I wanted to share this as well. We have a masterclass literally immediately following tonight's show. We have our masterclass for those that were able to register. It's already there. It's open. You've received reminders, and we're going to chat about all the different things. It's a masterclass and a test. We're testing out my new community platform, which is through Kajabi. So we'll be doing that. Wanted to make sure you guys hear about that. If you want to know how to get into the masterclass, just, put it in the comments. We'll let you know. We will let you know. We don't mind letting you know. Listen, man, everybody's jumping into the fray, all right? Everybody's jumping into the fray. So I'm going to share this and then we'll talk about what we talked about last week. But Twitter is adding ad revenue sharing for creators. Now, they're saying that it's only for a small amount of creators to begin with. But this is, if we can extrapolate out, right? If this trajectory, if it holds true, they'll probably going to open it up. And, the Elon with his, his master tweets, he sends out these tweets every now and again. But yeah, Elon has tweeted out that this is something that they're doing, and they're going to be looking to open it up to certain creators to begin with. And then from there, they're going to open it up for everybody else. So Twitter is getting into the ad revenue space, into the ad revenue game. And I believe, how did I read that thing? Twitter will start sharing revenue for advertisements with some of its content creators, right? If they are in your feed, like if you're on your reply feed, they'll have an ad in your reply feed. So if you have a lot of content, a lot of engagement back and forth with retweets and comments and all kinds of different things, how to engage on Twitter. They will put different ads in those threads, and that's how you will be able to get some ad revenue. So, they're trying to monetize the platform. This is good for creators. I just want to say that this is good for creators. We're live on Twitter right now, and if you're watching on Twitter, want to go ahead and let us know in the chat so we can hear from you. We can know that you are with us tonight. We want to know that. But yeah, last week we talked about ad revenue for YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts still. The monetization king is still YouTube, man. You can earn money with YouTube Shorts. We wanted to make sure that we keep that in front of you. I shared last week that it was going to be this past Friday. I was incorrect. Actually, it was February 1st. So it was actually literally a day or so after we had our live show last week. They actually rolled out ad revenue for YouTube Shorts. So keep that in mind. Think about this. This needs to be part of your structure, needs to be part of your strategy as you go forward on the platform. You want to make sure that you are putting out content that you're mindful that ads will also be integrated into them. So if you can put out successful YouTube short content, you're already monetized, you're already part of the YouTube partner program, you can take advantage of that revenue as well. Now, let me say this as well. It's not apparent. If you haven't gone through and accepted the new T's and C's, you are not automatically brought into that program. So you got to go into YouTube, got to go into the studio and accept those T's and C's. So fam, don't delay. They have a little banner at the top. Go ahead in there, accept those terms and conditions. That's what T's and C's mean. And then listen, start reaping the benefits and the rewards. I can't live off of my AdSense, but that check is nice every month. So I wanted to make sure that we are talking about that as well. Oh man, listen, everybody is going to be. Hey, listen, even if you are not a football fan, this is quite literally a worldwide event this coming Sunday. Is it this Sunday? Yeah, it is this Sunday. Yeah, this coming Sunday, the Eagles will face off. Wait a minute. Why am I drawing a blank? The Super Bowl. Let me just say the Super Bowl. Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, it's the Chiefs. But the Super Bowl will be this coming Sunday. And here's the thing. Even if you're not a fan of football, the ads that they put out for the Super Bowl is crazy. And one of the things I thought was really cool is that they're giving folks the opportunity to watch those ads and share them with friends on YouTube. So it's called the Super Bowl Ad Blitz. YouTube is where the fans are. So listen, if you there's some epic, phenomenal ads that have graced the stage during the Super Bowl in years past, and we don't expect anything different this year. But now we have this unique experience on YouTube. So I wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that, man. These are some of the things in the news. Come on, K-Walk Comedy. I see you in the chat. Thank you so much for coming through. Always appreciate when we have some of our regulars coming through. So that's what we have for that Super Bowl ad list. Listen, I want to ask you a question. What happened 19 years ago this past week? 19 years ago. Guess who turned 19? Take a guess. Take a guess. February 4, 2004, Harvard student Mark Zuckerberg launched the Facebook. The Facebook was launched February 4. Can you imagine? Let me just come on. Let's pause a moment. I'm gonna talk about this with Sam in a second as well. Can you imagine, like, Facebook is only 19 years old? Just think about that. Seesaw Studio says, "Wow, time flies." But I mean, yes, time flies. But think about that. Like, Facebook is not even 21. Like, what? That's crazy. I mean, the how integrated it is in our lives. In fact, some of us are like, yo, Facebook is for the old heads, right? And it's not even 20 years old. That is so crazy. It is crazy. See, look, Sam says, I feel old. I feel old. Sam, you're not alone, sir. You're not alone. I looked at that headline. And I was like, what is happening? I remember exactly where I was in February 4, 2004. I remember exactly what I was doing. I remember what season of life I was in when that happened. I just thought that was something really cool to add to the news. I want to share one last thing in terms of our news today, and that is, listen, Tech Troublemaker is here. I love it. Come on, Tech Troublemaker. I love it. I love it. I love it. Come on through. We're going to hang out tonight. Here's our last piece of news, and then we're going to bring our guest up. Texas is going to ban TikTok on all devices used to conduct state business. See, here's the thing with this headline. A lot of folks are like, yo, different states across the country are banning TikTok altogether. They're banning it for government use, right? State use. So state employees, government employees. Now, you are going to have to take that information and make of it what you will. I'm not saying that this marks a mass exodus off of the platform. Never that. I don't think that's, but there are people who have deemed TikTok within their acceptable margin of error, acceptable margin of openness, acceptable margin of vulnerability. They have said TikTok is okay for them. If you want to know more, go ahead and ask me in the comments. Kirk, are you on TikTok? Just go ahead. But former IT security professional here. So go ahead and ask me in the comments. But I think this is something to watch. I think that this is a conversation that not enough people are having around what is the trade-off. We can use these platforms for free, right? Look, I'm going to go back one. All right. Facebook just turned 19 this past week. And here we are talking about TikTok. If there was no Facebook, there would be no TikTok, right? These things gave way to the other platforms. So we're seeing this natural progression, but we must also have this conversation around what are we giving up in order to utilize these platforms, in order to have these conveniences. I'm going to dive into that in a second here, but I want to welcome our guest. I'm so excited that we have Sam from Live Production Tips and Tools coming through and hanging out with us tonight. I want to make sure that we get him on. And once he comes on, I want to make sure you guys give him a warm How It All Works welcome. Let's do that right after this.
How It All Works. Let's welcome our guest.
Yes. We got Sam here.
Yeah. Let's go.
Man, I'm so excited to have you here, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. Man. What did you think about some of those news items, man?
Wow, I just feel old, man. I can't believe what Facebook?
Facebook is 19, man.
Wow,
that is crazy. It blew me away.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. Time is going super fast, and I feel like, man, I'm not a millionaire yet.
But it'll happen. Look. I love that in the comments we're seeing people say, welcome, Sam. We're excited to have you here. Listen, tech troublemaker is already causing trouble. You see what I did there? But he's already causing trouble, and he says they should come to YouTube Shorts. It's safer, not safe, but safer. I love that distinction, tech troublemaker. Yeah. This is what I like to say. I love this phrase that says it's within my acceptable margin of vulnerability. Acceptable margin of vulnerability. Listen, all of the platforms have a margin of vulnerability. They do. So, but you have to determine what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. And I agree with you, tech troublemaker. So we got Sam, Seesaw Studios says, welcome, Sam. Gary Jones is saying, welcome. We've got Seek Things Above TV says, greetings, Sam. Then tech troublemaker has come in and joined and says, welcome, Sam, as well. We want to welcome you, man. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your schedule to come hang out with us over here at How It All Works. How things going, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor to actually be here. I love the family here. I love the welcome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Listen, we're going to take a second right now, just as we get ready to ask Sam one of our first questions. I want to invite all of you to hit this share button. If you're watching on Facebook or even LinkedIn, tag somebody in the comments. Bring some folks in. Let's get into the digital room. Get comfortable. Let's figure out how it all works. I'm excited about our conversation tonight. In fact, we want to start off with this question. Listen, for those that that don't know who Sam is, you're gonna have to go back to our first time we interviewed him some months ago on the channel, so we got a chance to hear some of his background and how did he get into content creation. But I want to start because we've interviewed him before. I want to start by asking him, because literally he's no stranger to the How It All Works audience. So we want to still know something unique about you, man. We want to know something unique. I noticed there's a particular video on your channel that has a ridiculous amount of views. I would love for you to kind of expound on that a little bit. Talk us through some of that experience and what it's like working in that space.
Wow, that's a hard question to answer, but I'll try. You want me to talk about myself or about the videos? About
I know you're heavily involved in live production, right? And I know that there's a particular video from Lakewood Church that has captured people's attention. So I know that that's a similar interest to a lot of the people who are in my audience. I would love for you to kind of expound on that experience, kind of talk about what the video is and what some of the things that you guys are doing in that space.
All right. So for the people watching maybe for the first time, my name is Sam, and I I am I'm a videographer, I'm a producer, I'm a director, have so many titles, and I I am a content creator right now.
That's right. That's right.
That's the most recent title maybe for me. Been doing it for it's been over 2 years now.
Wow.
My channel name is Live Production Tips and Tools. I know it's a long name. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be an introvert. Anyways, so that's what I do. I enjoy live production. Live recording. I enjoy recording music. So I started kind of doing it as a freelancer. Filming weddings. I still do it, weddings, events. And then I've also been, because looking at the title of the stream today, so I've been involved in church production a lot.
That's right.
So I've been helping churches, including my own church, to live stream, set up multiple camera productions and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing until actually COVID hit. And I was kind of out of work, in 2020, and I had that other gear in front of me, and that's a lot of churches were actually reaching out to me to help them live stream their services, and the problem was like they could not afford my rates, not because I was charging too much money, but because they couldn't afford to pay me every week to do the same thing. Even if I'm charging you $500 for 2 hours or 3 hours to come and stream for you, paying that kind of money every week was kind of too much for them. So then I couldn't find work. So I actually, that's where the idea came to actually start. I started helping them to set up their own streams. And then, at some point I was like, maybe I should start a YouTube channel, and actually start helping more people on a bigger scale. That's how I got started with my channel. And eventually I found out that I couldn't just help churches, so I started helping other people as well.
Right.
So
Expanding.
right now I create content about live production. So that includes like camera reviews, microphones, like everything that has to do with video recording, and as well as live streaming in general. So in my audience includes churches, obviously, because my background, I come from a church background. I still I'm still part of church background anyways.
Right.
Right now. So I still create content for churches, and I still help other people like businesses and anyone who's into live streaming. So I don't discriminate.
Good, man.
So it happened. I was down to Houston, actually visiting family there, and I've been attending Lakewood Church time to time when I go down there, and talk to the people there. They're really nice. I asked them if I wanted to do a quick tour to see how they live stream and how they broadcast their service. They let me
Nice.
tour. and I created a video just to, because I knew a lot of people wanted to see really what goes,
Into the
behind the
yeah.
scenes, of Lakewood Church production. Like it's a mega huge church. So so I just had my iPhone. I actually filmed it with my iPhone, and then it just showed me around, and I created a video, something really raw, just showing people how Lakewood Church streamed their services, and it got views. So a lot of people were really, really interested in that topic, and really there was a big demand. People wanted to see actually what happens behind the scenes. And I have some other videos, obviously, about church production, some tips and tricks, how to stream church stuff, and stream other stuff as well that not church related.
Nice.
I hope that was enough, I guess.
No, that's good, man. Listen, no, I think that's excellent context for everybody that is watching, for them to be able to hear some of the kind of your origin story as well. What led you into this space? The topic of the show tonight, of course, is Christian content creator versus content creator, and we're going to dive into that in just a second. But I did want to kind of set the table a little bit. I think your explanation has kind of done that, which is great. One of the things I often get, because I get this from even brands, right? I do some work with Shure, which is a microphone and audio brand that everybody knows. Shure, right? It's one of those iconic companies, but they recognize that there is a difference. There are components to a church production that are separate and different from what you would experience at a general production. And I've done both, and I know you've done both as well. So I did want to just kind of follow that up with this quick question, just saying, what are some of the unique things that happen in a live production for church that doesn't necessarily happen for live productions for other events? What are I mean, I know one of the major ones is, of course, music, but talk to us about what are some of those things that you have to do in a church setting that is above and beyond what you might have to do, let's say, for an event that you might be producing.
I think I would say, obviously, assuming if you were producing a musical performance kind of event, I think they are almost the same, except a church event or church service is more like it's an experience. It's
It.
it's an experience that you have to. It's less. It's not. I wouldn't call it a performance, even though like people have to perform.
Yeah.
It's more like an experience that you have to capture. And I know it's a
That's
lot
it.
of people struggle with
That's so
that.
good.
Like a lot of people struggle with that. I struggled with it myself, because it's something that's actually happening, and you have to capture it the
Yeah.
way it is, and you have to make sure you get it, and it stays as authentic as possible to where you want to. Let's say if you're streaming it, you want the end user or the viewer to kind of feel that experience. And that's
Right.
that's where a lot of people struggle. Actually, most people struggle to take it the way it is and just deliver it. And I think that's the main big difference between other events.
Yeah.
You know.
The feel, the flow, the different components that make up a worship experience is very different than what you would have at a let's say at a conference, major conference. I mean, a good friend of mine was behind the scenes for Social Media Marketing World, and I kind of got a chance to shadow him last March in 2022, there in San Diego, behind the scenes, kind of seeing some of the inner workings, seeing some of the things that are done, that main stage where the the big session is done, where everybody's like, no breakouts, like this is the actual keynote. And so I got a chance to see some of the behind the scenes things, those screens that they have for the speakers that are on stage, the in-ear monitors, the timing, the stage managers, the clocks that are there. Is it's an entire dance, but that is very different, especially when you may have something happen during praise and worship, and then the pastor decides to shift. I see tech troublemakers comment here as well, trying to trying to keep the camera on a pastor who likes to run from both sides of the stage.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That's a
Those
struggle.
are definitely, it's
That's
a
a
struggle. It's a
struggle.
struggle.
Yeah. Another struggle. Try to have, let's say you have a spotlight, right?
Yeah.
And it's you're right. And then some of them don't move, right? Maybe you have a certain area of the stage that's kind of lit, and the
Yeah.
pastor is moving. He wants to interact with the congregation, right? And then he gets to an area where it's not lit.
It's just
What do
dark.
you do?
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's,
So yeah,
yeah.
it's a
There,
lot of
there are
challenges.
there are definitely some differences there. But one of the things I love that you said, it's really not performance. You know, you get to these conferences and these events, and maybe even if you go to a live concert from an artist that might be
Yeah.
your favorite,
They have cues.
they're performing. They know what their
Yeah.
set looks like. They've practiced it
Yeah.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm telling you, even just a couple weeks ago at our church, you know, the two artists that were singing, they are both artists in their own right, but they're singing a song that is neither of theirs, and it just got to a point where, you know, the spirit got good in the room, and folk wanted to kind of, you call an audible and shift and do something totally different, and you have to be, you know, ready to move with that, because as you said, it is an experience. It is an experience that you're capturing, and not necessarily, you know, you're just doing a broadcast. It is a full-on experience, and I think that's such a great distinction. And the way that you put that really helps people to kind of sink their teeth into what are some of those differences between, you know, producing for church and producing. I will dare say that, you know, being able to produce in a church environment where you have to be on your toes has prepared me immensely for my work outside of the faith-based space, and that has been wildly beneficial for me. I see Rodney's comment here. Rodney says that's funny because I am a pastor who loves to move, but
That's not good, Pastor. That's not good. It's not good
I
for us.
understand. I can only move but so far.
That's not good.
Oh man, listen. It's listen.
Unless you have
Confession is
enough
good for the soul. He
But
said, man, I can't move far. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I know some churches, like, you know, like bigger churches that have budgets to invest in their productions. They also try to invest in their worship teams. So like something that they like Lakewood Church, they have cues for like everything's kind of pre-programmed. Their lighting, you know, they're singing everything, especially for worship, right? But I remember I had a conversation with their lighting guy, and he told me, because they have two services, they have the English service and the Spanish service.
Oh wow.
For the Spanish service, they don't rehearse. It's more flexible for lighting, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
you can see how like the guy has to improvise, right? Has to be creating
On the
different
fly,
sets
yeah.
of lighting on the fly.
Yeah.
That's to show you how, like, even Lakewood, if Lakewood can do that, imagine like smaller churches, like, you know, the guy will just start singing worship songs, and you just have to follow, you know, like make sure the lights are on a point, you know, musically, the guy mixing, your sound engineer, like it's so like when you master church production, you like maybe the best producer ever, you know.
This is a benefit.
Like, yeah, that's the benefit, you know.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit. I totally agree with that. I think there's it's something magical and beautiful that happens when you're in those spaces, and especially, you know, listen, I've been in a spot where we didn't know the speaker could even sing, but they came up after the, you know, the worship leader had, you know, kind of set the stage, and he just picked up the mic, got to the thing after he set himself up. He just picked up the song and just continued on. We were like, whoa. We had to get, you know, had to kind of get the cues back up and get the band back in. It was crazy, but you learn to flow with whatever's happening. And that's why, there's so many times where people are saying, man, it just seems like, especially speaking of the church that I'm at now, it just seems like, you know, it's just, you know, it's all a well-oiled machine, and you guys are just kind of, you know, it's more like a show. And I'm like, no, I can tell you for an absolute fact, like 80% of the stuff that happens on a Sabbath to Sabbath basis is not planned. And it's not to say that we are not planning, but you know, we have to leave room for inspiration. We have to leave room for things to happen. Kerwin Bornell says, Kings on the cast. The stream is looking great as always. Thank you so much, Kerwin, man. Kerwin, I didn't notice you for a second, man. Your avatar is different. I don't know this picture here. This is all official, man. So thank you for being here as well, man. Listen, I want to throw a question out to the audience. Rashad Taylor says, your overlays are always next level, Kirk. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Rashad. Thank you so much. Rashad Travel. I thought I was going to say Taylor, but listen, I want to throw this question out to the audience. This is my question to you. And I see you out there, tech troublemaker, managing the pastor who wants to control his own slides versus the pastor who wants you to change the slides for them. There's just so much pieces of this thing. And I think this is a great segue into our next question. A really great segue into our next question, because what makes a content creator, right? What makes a Christian content creator? Is it the creator, right? Is it the person? Or is it the content, right? So is it like Mike Todd is on Instagram and he has his Instagram channel. Of course, he talks about what he does at his church, but majority of his Instagram of late has been his weight loss journey. Okay. So he's talking about his weight loss journey on Instagram. Is that Christian content because Mike Todd is a pastor? Or you see, I want to throw this question out to you as the audience first. We're going to dive in. Sam and I are going to dive in. That's what we came to talk about tonight. But I want to throw this out to the audience first. I mean, even as Tech Troublemaker is talking about, the pastor wants to manage his own slides and the pastor that wants you to manage their slides, those slides are content, all right. Yeah. I mean, it's content, but is the content Christian because the person speaking is a pastor, or is the content Christian because the content itself is of a Christian nature?
Yeah.
Right. So we have this tension, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the chat. I see you out there. DePrince is here with us, says loving the stream from Uganda. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I also see Rodney James Sunday School came back, says, I believe the tech team, especially the leading tech, should be spirit led to know what angles to move on. The audience feels what the camera shows. I'm gonna tell you right now, Rodney Jones, that's a big one. That's a big space. I had a conversation with somebody recently, and I was saying there's a major difference between having the skills to do media and media production, and then also having the spirit that goes along with it to do that in a faith-based space. And there's a massive difference between the two. You don't just want to pluck somebody who has the skills. You want to have somebody who's sensitive to what is happening and to the spirit that you're trying to get out there. That's such a good point there. Thank you so much. I think Tech Troublemaker is coming through saying, if our faith influences what we say and how we carry ourselves, then we are Christian content creators. The content may not be Christian. Okay, so the gauntlet has been thrown down, Sam. Tech Troublemaker has given us one version of the answer. And there are those that argue, well, because all right, let me use myself as an example. And even Sam, we both talk about live streaming. Sam specifically talks about live production, and that is not inherently Christian, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Live streaming like StreamYard and Ecamm and EVMux and Melon app and Restream and all these things, OBS. That's not necessarily Christian. So
yep, that's true.
Is the content that I just put out a video saying 5 StreamYard features you should be using. Is that content Christian content? You see the tension.
Not really.
Yeah, you see, and for a lot of people, the answer is no. Seesaw Studio says, I'd say it's a healthy mix of both. A kind of tug of war. The Christian content is usually a reflection of the person. So even if it's a personal, right, it can still reflect God. I see where you guys are going. You're trying to straddle the fence. I love it, man. I love it. I want to see how many more of you guys can answer this question. I'm gonna just repeat it one more time. What makes a Christian content creator? Is it the creator themselves, the person, or is it the content? You know, I have a good friend. His name is Justin Koo. I've had him on this channel before. I've had him on this show before. And if you follow him, his content is unapologetically Christian, but he's answering questions and, you know, giving practical day by day living tips for Christians who are just trying to figure out how to put one foot in front of the other. He's not necessarily preaching a sermon, but he does it in his own way. Usually is doing something on the beach because he lives in Hawaii, and it's really cool and engaging and it's fun. But his is his content unapologetically Christian. It's easy for us to say, oh, that kind of content, that's Christian content. But then when you flip it, or okay, James Bush just came in. James Bush has a show where he just prays for folks, Sam. He has a show where all he does is pray for people, right? Easily Christian content creator, correct?
Yeah.
But then you have somebody like yourself, myself, you have somebody like, let's say, somebody that I follow and somebody that I kind of look up to in this industry, the Think Media crew, with Sean Cannell and then, of course, Omar El Decore.
Those guys are pastors.
They're actual pastors.
The first time I saw one of them preaching, I was like, "What? What's happening?"
I had followed them for years before knowing that they were pastors, and their content has absolutely helped me. It has helped me to grow on YouTube. It's helped me grow as a content creator. It's helped me to have confidence in what I'm putting out. None of those things, however, were overtly Christian, even though they themselves are pastors. And so you have this tension, and I wanted to kind of present that space as we dive in here. Let's grab a couple more questions here. Kanig is agreeing with Seesaw Studios. You know, he's talking about that healthy balance, that mix of both, that tug of war. James Bush is here. He says, I'm leaning towards the content, in my case anyway. The content makes it a Christian content creator, right? And then Kerwin Brunel says, the person and purpose of your live stream makes it what it is. Okay. See, we cannot agree. If you're looking at the comments right now, just the comment section, 20 of you guys on the live right now, thank you all for hanging out with us. And I'd love to hear all 20 of you kind of engage here in the comments. But this is an interesting space that we're talking about. All right, let me see here. A tech troublemaker says again, the Think Media, they've gotten more open about their faith in the last year or two. Before that, it was not as obvious. And I on its face, tech troublemaker, I agree with you 5,000%. But I will say, when I found out that they were pastors, when I went to Grow with Video Live, and I found out that they were pastors because one of the extra sessions was basically just worship, and Omar was the speaker. So I went to that extra session. I was like, huh. But when I went back and started to look back some of the videos, I realized that there's always been a thread, a presence in their content that is evident. I had a guy email me from England who is an atheist, and he's like, Kirk, man, there's just something about your content. I don't know what it is. I've watched all kinds of live streamers, but there's something about your content. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. And he emailed me to say, I believe that it's your faith. Just your faith comes through as you're sharing your content. So there's something to be said for that, I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam. I don't know if you were going to say something.
I don't know. I think for me, it's kind of obvious because, you know, some of my videos will simply say, okay, church for church, you know, I'll make tips specifically for churches. But I think, like for someone like me or you, I think it's a matter of being, I am a Christian first, then content creator. Now, it doesn't matter what I create, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that I'm Christian, every video that I'm going to put out is going to reflect the way I speak, the way I behave on camera, the way I interact with people in comment section, mm-hmm. The way I interact on Facebook, in Facebook groups, right? Mm-hmm, that mm-hmm. image of actually being a Christian person is going to be reflected everywhere online. I think that's the major difference. Now you can see some people really who are like all in creating like content that are specifically for Christian people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the major
That's
difference.
right.
So
Right.
like yeah, so somebody like Ruslan, I don't know if you follow Ruslan KD,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah, Mike Winger, or
Yeah.
some other folks there.
Even Tim Ross in
Yeah,
the basement. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because
Mm-hmm.
those people are creating content for Christian. They are Christian creating content for Christian people or Christians.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the major difference. While for
Right.
me and you, we're creating content. We are Christian, but we
Christians.
are creating content. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be for Christians. Could be for Christians or non-Christian.
Yeah.
But we are Christians first. I think that's the main difference,
Yeah.
and obviously it's going to be reflected in anything you do, for sure. That's how people can recognize, even when you, because I have people reach out to me for church. Some people watch my videos that I didn't even mention anything about church, and they'll reach out to me. They need help, maybe with their live streaming setups and stuff. And at the end of the session, they will ask me,
Mm-hmm.
"Do you believe in God?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'm Christian." Like, oh, I knew.
I knew it. I knew it.
Somehow they
That has happened
felt
to
it. you
That
know.
is so good. No, that has happened to me like I can't tell you how many times. And I love the way Shelly Cassandra puts it. I see all of your comments out there. Brown South Girl says this is a great point, Brown South, and I love how you put this as well. It's largely the content, because she says, let's be honest, there are many Christians who put out content that is not exactly Christian related, and I agree with
Mhm,
that. I agree with that.
mhm,
I would fall in that category. I don't put out quote unquote Christian content, but the way that believe the way that Shelley says this, it's where I put the emphasis, depending on the context of the conversation. Christian content creator or Christian content creator. So Christian content creator or Christian content creator. Right, so it's where that emphasis is. I am a Christian that makes Christian content. I am a Christian that is a content creator. My content, however, is on live streaming. And
mhm.
so I love the way she puts that. It's where the emphasis is. I'm gonna put that comment back on screen again. I think it's so well said, Shelley. And I that what makes a Christian content creator, some of it can be the person. I think that we cannot negate the fact that a Christian, it brings their full self. We all know this. Who hasn't said that your full self is what you bring to the table, right? What's going on, David Harvey? I love when you're here, man. Thank you so much for showing up late, but here for the info. You and David Hunt. I love it. I
David,
love it.
what's going on, David?
Come on. We love it. But you have to we know that the secret sauce of being successful at this content game is bringing your full self unapologetically to the screen and allowing your audience to really, really get to know you, warts and all, as they say. And a huge component of my life is the fact that I'm a Christian. I'm a massive, major component of my life, the way I live my life. The purpose of my life is that I am a Christian. And I believe God has called me to create this kind of content in this
Yeah.
way, to coach people in this way, and to use media in the way that I'm using it at my church as well. And so I believe that's a calling on my life. And so to know me, really know me, is to know those aspects of my content. And I'm excited about, being able to engage with this month. Hey, Deandra Blake is here. Listen, man, it's been a long time, Deandra. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I truly appreciate it. She says, great conversation, Kirk and Sam. Listen, Sam, I want to throw this last question up here. We've kind of touched on it already, but I wanted to just kind of tie it up with a bow. What do you believe? Shelley has said some, Kerwin has said some. I believe Brown South has kind of said some of those key differences between the two terms. Hey, Winton, what's going on? Between these two terms of the Christian content creator and a content creator who happens to be Christian. And I think we've gotten some of those pieces out there. But any last pieces you want to share in terms of that, and especially as it relates to your experience working in this space, working in a church and working with churches who are going to use media to broadcast their message, but also being on YouTube and growing in that space as a creator who is Christian, but doesn't necessarily put out Christian content. Talk to us.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned, as a content creator who's not Christian, it's you just creating content, and there's no there's no spirit, there's no Holy Spirit kind of controlling what you do or what you say, because this is another world. The online world is again the way you behave, the way you interact with your viewers, your audience. It's going to be reflected everywhere. Facebook groups, um, comment section. Like people are going to throw some nasty comments at you, and you have to, like, you have the spirit of God is going to actually control, help you be a good person, a nice person, the way you respond and everything. But also, if I go to the other term, which is a Christian content creator that creates for Christians, that's gonna be more like, okay, now I'm creating for Christian people. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be maybe
specifically.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pray before a live stream, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My audience is we're gonna do a Bible study, that kind of stuff. Or I know some guys actually don't who are really niched into creating, like, church front. I don't know if you know
Yeah. Yeah.
Jake.
Yes. Yeah. I have
Yeah,
followed. Yeah.
he's more like creating videos to help worship leaders and churches with their live streams, take the whole tech thing
Mm-hmm.
specifically for churches. I would call him a Christian content creator for Christians,
For
right?
Christians. Right.
Yeah,
Christian
for
content creator for
Christians.
Christians.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Good. Good.
Um, yeah, or my friend Russell. I don't know if you know Russell is another creator. He's new, right? He's a worship leader. He's a tech dude, super awesome, and he's always putting out videos, kind of documenting his journey as a worship leader, tech media director, pastor, and
Nice.
he's
Nice.
specifically focused on helping other churches create good live streams and broadcasts and stuff like that. So that's another content creator, Christian content creator,
For
creating for
Christians.
Christians, right? And for me it's a little different. I'm more like, okay, I'm a Christian dude, but I'm creating for everybody.
Yeah.
But I want the image of God to be reflected in my creation, right?
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, like in fact, like for example,
Yeah.
if they say if I had an issue with a brand, right? Something that happens to all creators. The way I'm going to respond, I'm probably not gonna be responding in a nasty way, like, "Oh, I'm gonna trash the brand, like
Brand or
make them
anything like
look
that.
bad,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm more like before I make that kind of video, I'll be like, okay, what am I going to gain from doing this? Okay, if I'm doing it for the sake of, okay, maybe I'm going to help other creators, not to deal with this brand. Okay, maybe I'm gonna make the video, but in a way that we're going to protect my image as a Christian person,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna, like also protect my personal values. So it's that kind of like, Holy Spirit, man. Let's call it what it is, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's
No.
it's just
No. No.
you
We
got the
need to.
Spirit of God. It's just it's guiding you.
There's I don't want to throw another monkey wrench into this because I think we're at a great place to just kind of land the plane, but I think you wanting the image of God to be in the things that I create. Wow, what a sentence. Like that. Wow. I want the image of God to be in what I create. And that takes on many different forms. That is defined so much by the desire of the creator as well. All right, here we go. Brown South says, I don't think I would have found you if it was Christian content was your marketing point. It doesn't matter to me. I found the content to be well produced and useful, and this is absolutely the truth. And this is absolutely the truth. This is absolutely the truth. So and in that context, there's still the thing that I want people to really walk away with is simply this: regardless of whether you're a Christian content creator, who is Christian, or a content creator who creates Christian content, it doesn't matter. You still have to follow these same rules. And that's what Brown South Girls is talking about. The content must answer a question. The content must have some component of education and entertainment. It has to be well produced. The content has to, it has to actually get people across the line in terms of that value proposition. I was searching for something, or maybe this thing was suggested to me, and I've come to your content now, and I'm seeing some of the things that you provide, and now I'm like, okay, cool. I want to be in this space. So regardless of whether you are a Christian or where your content happens to be for Christians or your content is Christian content, you still want to adhere to the success formula on these platforms. Creating content on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, doesn't matter. People are going to search for content. They're going to search for what they're looking for. Sometimes they're searching for topics that are completely and totally Christian. Sometimes they're searching for live streamers like me, like Sam. And sometimes they're searching for what camera should I buy? They may stumble upon Think Media. The content must still answer the question. I clicked on this video for a reason. I clicked on this video because I wanted to understand what's the difference between a content creator and a Christian content creator. And what I'm hearing now is both must still adhere to the same success formula. If somebody comes to this video or to my content, I say 5 StreamYard features that you should be using. I say that in my video, and I never give you the 5 things. I never deliver on those 5 suggestions. Then I have kind of broken that two-way street, that trust that is between the creator and the audience. And that is how you start to systematically, step by step, go down on these platforms. So regardless of where you find yourself in terms of your content, I'm reading some of the comments as I'm saying this, but regardless of where you find yourself in your content journey, there is this misnomer. I don't know if you found this, Sam. There is this misnomer that because I'm a Christian, I don't follow the same rules of success on these platforms. That is something I'm hoping to dispel.
I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about that.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Because I hope we have some church people watching, because I believe a lot of churches, actually most churches, are missing out on what's going on right now on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all the socials right now, because they are not investing into understanding how these platforms work.
There it is.
Me included. I did not know until I started a YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Now I started learning. I understood how, I'm still learning, but I'm starting to understand how these platforms work. Because the thing is, YouTube is not a Christian platform.
No, it's not.
Okay? It is not a Christian platform.
Neither is it a secular platform, right?
Exactly,
it's neither. Right.
So, which means you have to follow YouTube's rules in order for you. They got the audience. They got everything that you need.
They got it.
They got the audience for you, but you need to follow the rules in order for you to reach that audience.
Yeah.
There is a great potential on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, right? But a lot of churches are just sleeping, and not because they don't have budgets. I see, I'm always shocked when I see guys like, I don't know if you see, you guys follow Ruslan. Every time
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
live
yeah.
streaming. This is a guy. I think he used to be a pastor.
Hmm.
Um, or what's the other guy? Alan Parr, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
He's
Alan Parr.
he's
Yeah, yeah.
about to hit he's about to hit 1 million subscribers. Can you
Subscribers right
believe
now.
that? The guy is just streaming in his, I don't remember, maybe he started in his bedroom or spare bedroom or living room, right? He
Hmm.
doesn't
Hmm.
even have a building or something, some sort of professional studio. Started with a microphone like this, cost 45 $50, right? And a camera, I don't know, maybe $1,500 camera. And the guy is reaching millions of people,
There it
millions
is.
every
There it is.
week
There it
from
is.
his bedroom. Why? Not because he's so special, because he understood the rules, how the platform works. He had to invest in the platform, and now
Yeah.
because if you look at the audience he's actually able to reach, and look at some mid-sized churches that maybe have 500, to 1,000 people attendance every week, he's reaching more people than those churches
By himself.
by himself.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Oh man.
And I can see like a lot of churches struggling. Guys, if you are a part of church right now,
Hmm.
okay, and you
Hmm.
part of the media team, okay, you gotta stop. Stop what you're doing. Go take a YouTube course or something.
Yes.
Okay? Go take a course, because
Learn
this
this
is the
thing.
greatest opportunity in the history of humanity right
I
now.
agree. I agree.
And people are just sleeping. People are sleeping. Look at
Listen.
who, like this guy, Young Don. He's a creator. I don't know if you follow him. He's a super dope streamer. He's always
Yeah, yeah.
streaming. I think he's like a daily streamer. He had a channel before. I think he still has one. Like he's an animation channel.
Hmm.
He's like reaching. I think he has like 1 million or 2 millions. I don't remember. That's his non-Christian channel. But he has another Christian channel. He's streaming every day. Has like 1,000 something concurrent viewers, like every single day. That's like going to church on Sunday with 1,000
1,000
people
people.
attending your church every day. Like,
Listen.
think about that. The guy is streaming from his living room,
My
and
goodness.
he's reading Bible verses. Bible verses. He's teaching people. We're not
Mm.
talking about just, it's not about entertaining or anything. He's reading Bible verses. He's reaching people. He's spreading the gospel.
Yeah.
That's the new way, guys. That's the new
The-
way.
I don't even want to cut you off. You're talking so
Go
good right
ahead.
now. No,
Go
no,
ahead. Go ahead.
you've made like all the I can throw out my notes now. You've made all the other points that I wanted to make. Honestly speaking, this is what I come across on a regular basis. Probably not necessarily the number one question I get asked, but it's easily in the top 5 questions I get asked from people of faith all the time. Man, how can we grow better on YouTube? How can we do better on social media? How can we leverage, the ridiculous opportunity that is social media and use it for the cause of Christ? And I'm like, you've got to actually stop and learn the way that it works and then follow. Like, YouTube wants to get your content to the right people. But your content, oh my, the sermon is buried behind like 2 hours of announcements and all kinds of other stuff that nobody searched for. If I
Yeah,
searched
that's the
for,
thing. That's
if
the
I
thing.
searched for, if
If
I
you're a
searched for the
pastor
topic of the,
watching right now,
that's it.
stop what you're doing. Stop creating those live streams. Okay, it's good to have live streams on Sunday, okay, but you
Mhm,
probably
mhm.
streaming for people who couldn't attend your church.
Church.
Maybe 10, 5 people. It's
Yeah,
okay, okay,
it's okay.
but you
It's
gotta do
okay.
better than that. Okay, stop. Pause everything that you're doing. Go home. Take a YouTube course. Okay, understand how the platform works, because all these guys, they're not special. They just had to follow. They understood how YouTube worked
Agreed.
and follow the rules. And guess what? Those people are reaching millions of people. Millions. These are real souls. These are
Real
real
people.
people.
You
They're
could
not
you could
just
poke them.
numbers.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's the point. That's the point.
They're not numbers.
Oh my goodness! If you can't tell, both of us are passionate about this, and I totally, I 5,000% agree with what Sam is sharing here, and I hope that some of you resonate with this as well. Here's the truth: take out Christian and put whatever you want into it. Like, I work with a lady who, in her past, in her growing up, she was abused and she went through all kinds of things, and the reason why she creates content is because she never wants anybody else to go through that again. She does not consider herself a Christian content creator, and it doesn't matter. Her why is, I want to reach people to help them heal or to help them avoid what I went through. That's what I want to do. That's her why. Now, I personally believe that her why is God-given, but it doesn't matter. You see my point?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If she's successful at reaching the people she intends to reach, she is going to be a blessing to them.
Yep.
And how can she be successful at reaching them? She's got to follow the rules. Yep. She's got to understand the algorithm. She's got to allow the algorithm to take her content and put it in the hands of the people who need it most. And that is what it's all about. Doesn't matter. Take the Christian off of it. Doesn't matter. Because Christian does not define your content, even if you're a Christian content creator, even if you create Christian content. The reason for which your content was created is to be able to serve a particular person, a particular issue, to answer a particular question. That is more closely aligned with what your content really is. And because it is aligned with what your content really is, that's actually more important than whether or not it's Christian. And if your desire is to help people in those ways, then content is absolutely one of the best tools that you can use to get your. And I'm so glad that we were able to have this conversation today. I hope that it was of value to you. We're over our time, and I want to apologize to you guys.
Already?
Wow. It's already 8:01. It's already 8:01 now. I didn't even get a chance to it's unbelievable. No, we were just having such a blast. 27 people on the live with us hanging out tonight. And clearly this topic is resonating because I see your comments. I do want to read one or two of these comments before we go, Sam. So Izzy Productions is responsible. Well, first of all, David Hunt was saying preach. He's talking to you, Sam. He says preach. But David Harvey says this. David Harvey says, many churches, unfortunately, do one thing really well, and that's starting a great thing 10 years too late. Start creating dope content yesterday, please. Come on, David Harvey. I couldn't agree with you more. Izzy Productions LLC says, Sam, I agree. Our church content is behind the scenes, hidden links. There is a lot of great work that is accessible for church only. We can do better in terms of outreach. I love that, Izzy. Thank you so much for coming through. Charles Rogers is asking the question, are you on TikTok? He's the only person that asked. I asked this way earlier in the show. He's the only person that asked, and the answer is no. My answer is no. Brown South Girl says, TikTok. Yeah, listen, everybody's got to do what they feel is best within that acceptable margin of vulnerability. So Brown South Girl says, in the beginning was the word. And social media is a tool to get your word out. Yep. Have something to say. Ooh, that is so good. That is so good. That is so good. I love that way you put that, Brown South Girls. Tech Troublemaker is still with us. He's been rocking with us since the beginning of the show. Don't adapt the message. Adapt the methodology of delivering the message. Yep. Come on. Yep. That's good. Yep. That's good. That is good.
Your thumbnails gotta be good.
Come on. Yeah.
Your thumbnails.
Titles.
You post a video and your video's like, let's say, Pastor Kirk on Sunday. That's your title. You think people are going to watch that?
That's the title. That's the title we put.
Hey, Pastor Kirk on Sunday. I don't know. Maybe you add the date.
No, they put the date. No, seriously. We put February 6th, 2023.
Pastor Kirk is talking about I don't know, maybe marriage advice. If you change that title to something like the best marriage advice for young couples, for example, with a good thumbnail,
put a good thumbnail.
You see the difference? People are going to watch it.
But you also have
because
to make sure now, Sam, I have to add, now you have to make sure that when they click on that video, that they're not listening to 20 announcements and 5 praise and worship songs. You have to, when they click on that video, they have to get right to the content.
to
And
the
see,
message.
these are the things that we don't do on the platform. If the content's only for us, then we can continue doing it the way that we've been doing it.
Yeah.
But if we intend to reach people who will stumble into the answers that we're providing, like Brown South says, the things that we have to say, if we want people to just organically come in contact with our content, then we've got to listen to the algorithm. And the algorithm is telling us the metrics for success.
Yeah, we
That's so
got
good,
James
David.
has a good comment here. I don't understand how YouTube works. I stream every day because I believe people need prayer every day. You're not the
I
only one. A lot of people are
Yeah,
doing exactly the same thing. They have
yeah,
good heart. They want to reach people. They want to
yeah.
pray for people. So they just put out whatever they got. Maybe they got StreamYard, EVMax, or Zoom.
Whatever. Yeah.
Just put it out there. No title, whatever title they think who should be there, and that's it. So please take a moment, pause, and find somebody, someone like Kirk. Start with Kirk. Reach out to him, right? Right. If he can help you, he's going to guide you to the right person. Take a
Absolutely.
YouTube course. Understand how YouTube works.
Yeah.
Like you went to school for
It's
Bible
true.
study. You,
It's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. You did
Yeah.
a lot of
No,
to become a pastor. You did a lot of studying, right? Same thing.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
same thing.
The investment that
Times
needs
are
to be.
changing. Times are changing. It's time to have I don't know. I don't know. You take Bible study plus YouTube and Facebook course and TikTok. These times are changing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like pause right there. Go take a YouTube course. You don't have to pay for anything, even though I don't think money is a problem because a lot of you, I know you're paying a lot of money for things like I don't know, for your church budgets. You really, money is not a problem, and most of YouTube courses are not even expensive. Some are like
Mm.
maybe $200, $100, $500, not really expensive.
Mate,
So
listen.
you could start with the free. Some There's a lot of free content on YouTube, but you need to invest. Learn how the algorithm works, how the discovery system works, how people are going to find your videos, know your audience, who are you trying to reach, and like try to master it, right? Because your ministry is going to skyrocket once you understand how YouTube works. You're gonna see a lot of blessings. You're going to reach more people, and the good thing is you're going to reach the right people, people who need what you are offering.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Listen, Sam, we could talk about this all night. Literally,
I
what
know,
the
I know.
audience doesn't know is that Sam and I actually belong to a mastermind group. Myself, him, and one other guy that we get together once a month, and we get a chance to chat and talk about all kinds of stuff. But I want you to take a few minutes here, just real quick, Sam, and just talk a little bit about what you do, how people can find you, follow you, catch up with what you've got going on. I've got your YouTube channel on the page here for people to kind of see, but talk a little bit about what you do, and if they subscribe to your channel, what kind of things would they be able to see there?
So my YouTube channel is more about live production. So you're gonna see some camera reviews, switchers and stuff like that, PTZ cameras, tutorials, software, OBS, EVMax and stuff like that. So everything about live production, including the
Mm,
gear and live streaming. So that's mostly software. That's pretty much what I do. I don't teach YouTube or how to do YouTube. So if you reach out to me, yeah, you can find me. My email address is there. I'm working on my website, should be
coming up.
ready pretty soon. But other than that, yeah, so anything live streaming, live production, that's me. And I've got a lot of videos on my channel for church folks and anyone who's into live streaming, obviously, and video recording.
Love that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sam, for coming out and hanging out with us today. Listen, I see it in the comments. Tech Troublemaker says, great show tonight. Thanks, guys. Others have shared the same as well. Truly appreciate you guys coming through. My moderators have just put your link, your YouTube link in the chat as well. Thank you so much, Gary Jones. This has been absolutely phenomenal. We had a great time discussing this topic tonight. Really want to kind of hone in on that last piece as well. So we're excited about that. My man, Sam, Darius O'Kane says, for those that are looking out, I saw somebody ask, when am I doing a next Q&A? We got Q&As coming up on the midday in the midday time frame. So hopefully you guys can catch one of those. But man, Sam, I want to say a word of thanks to you for coming through and hanging out tonight. I'm going to say some words of goodbye to the folks as we close out. But I just wanted to say to you, we appreciate you, man. We're definitely going to have you back sometime soon.
Thank you, man. I'm always happy to be here, man.
All right, cool. Listen, fam, it has been our pleasure to hang out tonight and just to talk about this topic, right? Kind of dispel the myths, really hone in on what we feel like is the actual important piece. And that is, do you want to be a successful content creator, Christian or not? and if you were a Christian content creator, I would think that you would want to be more successful than anybody else because you have a message that will quite literally save lives. And if you want to be a successful content creator, then understanding the dynamics of these platforms, understanding how the computers are built and how we can speak to them a way that allows our content to get into the hands who need it the most. I often say, man, it's not about a million subscribers. It's really not for me. It's about getting my content into the hands of those who need it the most, into the hands of those who, if it were not for that particular video, that particular how-to, that particular content piece, they would not be able to get their message out there, or they would not be able to take that next step in their journey. I often think about that one person when I'm making my videos, when I'm making my content, and that's what drives me. That's why I do the deep dive. That's why I take the time to learn the things and discuss the topics like this one, because it is of critical importance to me. And I hope that somewhere in the video today, you were able to kind of see that. You would see that passion, you'd see that drive, you'd see that desire. You kind of saw some of those puzzle pieces come together. You had that light bulb moment where you were able to kind of see how it all works. We're excited about this space that we're in, excited about our guest next week. Sylvia and Andrew Nixon from Press and Sew will be our guests next week, and we'll be talking about their business, but there's some other things as well. And we're excited about this month where we're getting a chance to highlight African-American creators of faith. That's what we're highlighting this month. And we're excited about all those things. Hoping you'll come back next week and continue to rock with us, continue to check out what we got going on. And we will see you somewhere around these internet streets or in the next video. Later, fam. Oh yes. What a show. What a show. All right, Replay Squad, you know what to do. Hit one of these videos right here. Hey, and if you're here with us live, catch the after party, y'all.